Good.
Good. Today we're going to be going over your scoreboard. Okay. Let's do a quick knowledge check though. Why do we use these scoreboards?
To let us know how we did the last week and where we're going to hopefully be this week.
Awesome. What's the purpose of playing a game?
To win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to have fun, right?
Of course.
Right. So let's take a look at your best day ever. How much was that?
32.11.
Impressive.
I know. I was rocking that day.
Yeah. So 32.11 times 80 hours, because I want you to imagine doing your best day ever every single day.
Okay.
That's going to give you sales of over $2,500. And guess what? You get to keep half that of $1,200, over
Yeah.
$1,200. How would you like that?
A lot.
What would you do with it?
Pay down bills and then save for a trip.
Ooh, where would you go?
Bora Bora.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Can I go?
Sure.
Fantastic.
You have to pay your own way though.
All right. So let's take us get closer to getting your goal of Bora Bora and paying down your bills. Let's take a look at how much you want your check to be. Okay? Because we got to work up to that best day ever, right?
Right.
So let's start off. What would you like your check to be every paycheck?
Over $1,000.
Okay, fantastic. So that means that we need to really go for sales of $21.25, right? That's service sales for the pay period.
Right.
So this is done in 1 week. So we got to break that in half, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to say $1,062.50, right? So you want to write that down for me?
Sure.
All right, so $1,062.50, and you're working 40 hours this week, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to divide that by 40. That's going to give you an SPH of $26.56. So write that down for me. All right. So let's break this down even further to help you get to daily goals. Okay? So if you take 1,062 and you divide that by 5 days, is $212.40 a day.
Okay.
Now we know that there are some days that are slower than others, right?
Correct.
Right. So let's take a look and see when are your days off. Let's go ahead and mark those out. And let's start with the slower days. When are your slower days in your salon?
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay. So let's set a service sale goal of those 2 days. And what would you say instead of $212.40, because that's a little high for a slow day?
Right.
What would you want that to be on Monday?
Probably 150.
150? Okay, so write that down. And then what about Tuesday?
Probably 175.
Okay. And let's do Wednesday.
We could probably do 225 on Wednesday.
Okay.
It's a pretty busy day.
And then the other 2 days, if we split what's left evenly, that means you need to set a goal of $257 for those 2 days. All right. Now Monday, you have $150 that you need to do, right? That's your goal. And you're going to divide that by the number of hours you're working. How many hours are you working on Monday?
9.
9? That means you need an SPH of 1667.
Okay.
So go ahead and write that down. Okay? Now, let's take a look at Tuesday. 175 divided by how many hours on Tuesday?
8.5.
Okay, so 8.5. So you need an SPH of 2059. Do you see how your total sales correlates with your SPH?
I do.
Okay. Now, I want to take it even one step further. We see that your average ticket, and you can see that on your report card, okay, your 3-month average. We write that up here, and then that's going to help us determine what our guest goal is for the day.
Okay.
So if we take $150 and divide that by your your average ticket, that means you need 9 guests for that day. That's your guest goal. What do you think about that? Is that helpful?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
So let's write that there. And then let's take a look at the next day and do that again. Now you need 11 guests. And then we'll do that there. And then that there.
And
And then
same
that
as
there.
day. Okay.
What do you think?
It's doable.
Does this help you knowing each day what your service sales needs to be?
It does help it break it down a lot easier. Yes.
Okay. Now, one thing that I would definitely recommend you doing is having a Post-it note or a sheet of paper and write down what that dollar amount is every day and have it on your station.
Okay.
That way you can see it, right, with
Yes.
every guest, and you know exactly where you're at, and it will help you obtain your goals.
Okay.
Now, the other thing I want to ask you is how there's 2 actions that we need to get you to that goal,
Right.
right? So, and I say 2 actions because 2's better than 1, but also I think it's important to have an action that helps you bring in guests and have an action to help you bring in up-servicing.
Right.
So, if we take a look at this sheet that has our actions down, what is an action that you would like to do this week to help bring in guests?
Use social media more. Use Facebook. Let people know the hours that I'm working, when I have openings and availabilities.
Okay, and checking in every
And checking
day?
in, uh-huh.
Okay, so go ahead and write down social media check-ins and postings each day. Now, what about your up-servicing? What would you like to do there? You know, based on your report card, and we can take a look and see where your opportunities are. Where do you think your biggest opportunity lies? When you look at your color, right? Okay? And we also take a look at the add-ons, your waxes, your deep conditioners, your perfect packages. What would you like to focus on this week to help bring you to your dollar amount?
I would say probably the perfect package to every female guest. That should
Okay.
be an easy upsell.
Okay. And how do you normally up-service a guest? What does that look like? What's that say?
Well, with your haircut today, that includes a shampoo. Would you like to spend $6 more and I can blow dry it for you and style it?
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So that's something that you can say to each guest that you have in your chair.
Right.
Okay. So let's go ahead and put that down. This is awesome. So we know what your best day ever is, right? And that's what we're trying to beat each day.
Right.
Until then, we're going to work towards the money that you want to make and the money you deserve.
Right.
By doing these 2 things, and we can actually track it and set goals daily to help you get there.
Okay.
Now let me ask you, how do you like to be held accountable? Because I'm your partner and I want to help support you to make sure that you reach your goals. So tell me, how do you want to be held accountable?
I like to have you kind of check in with me and say, okay, how are you doing today? Okay, we're here, but let's get motivated a little bit more because we want to be at this point.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I definitely will help you and support you in that way. One thing that I want to do though is talk about the icing on the cake, which is combos, because retail bonus is such a big part of your income as well. And so, what would you like your combo percentage to be?
Well, since I need to work back up to my 100%, I think I want to start at 12% based on last week's average.
Okay, so let's put 12% there. Now, based on the actions of our combo actions that we have listed, what would you like to focus on for that? Two things.
The walk and the hook.
Okay, so tell me about that. You know, I've seen you use and talk product to every single guest. So what you're saying is you want to walk your guests to the retail wall, hand them the product, and then offer them whatever the sale is, right, or the discount is?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds great. So let's go ahead and write those two things down. And we'll do a daily accountability check-in with your combos as well. What do you think?
Sounds great. I'm ready to get going.
Good. Well, I'm glad we took this time to go over it. Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
You bet.